All right. Well, I think we'll go ahead and get started today so we can start on time and for everybody's schedule. Good afternoon. Thank you for joining First Fridays today. For those of you that don't know me, I'm Bev Durgan. I'm Dean of Extension at the University of Minnesota, and I am also the current chair of ECOP. So again, welcome to First Fridays. For those of you that have not been on a First Friday event, again, welcome you. It's a monthly meeting that is sponsored by ECOP, and it's for all the deans, extension deans and directors of the 1862 and the 1994s and the 1890s extension administrators. It is a way for us to learn from others about our extension system throughout the nation. It's also a way for us to network, for the deans and directors to network while we are on this webinar. So again, thank you very much, and thank you for being here. Today, we have a couple things that we'd like to talk about, awards, and also about the calendar. So today is a very special session, and I am just very excited that we are able to have some of our national award winners, our 2022 award winners with us here today. And I think all of us know that we have great extension professionals working for us. They're working on the state level, regional level, and national level. But we also sometimes don't remember how important it is to recognize all of their great work. And one way to do that is by nominating your professionals for regional and national awards. So today, we are going to hopefully inspire all of you to pick up that pen, go to your computer, and nominate your extension professionals for these national awards. Next slide, Sandy. So let's talk a little bit about our national awards. And we are soon going to be opening up the nomination process for the awards. So ECOP and USDA NIFA co-sponsor national awards. With that those national awards, the awardees are able to travel to APLU, annual APLU meeting to be recognized there. Also national recognition from NIFA and ECOP, and then also a cash award from ECOP. So again, it's a way for us to really think about and to celebrate the great work that our extension professionals are doing across the US. So today, what we have planned for you is to hear from 3 of our 2022 winners and also their nominators. So just talk a little bit about the process and from the nominators, but also to hear from our award winners about the process for them to be nominated and also just their thoughts about being awarded this national recognition. So with that, go ahead and talk about our first winning award. So Sandy. All right. It is really a great pleasure for me to talk to you a little bit about the National Diversity and Extension Award. The Award for Diversity is designed to focus national attention on innovative models and techniques to ensure that extension programs engaged all learning audiences effectively. It may be awarded to either an individual extension professional or team. This year, the 2022 Diversity Award was awarded to a team, and that team was at Penn State. So today we have a member of that winning team and also the Director of Extension from Penn State. So Brent Hales, Dr. Brent Hales, I am going to turn the program over to you to talk a little bit about the nomination process and also about the award itself. So Brent?
Perfect, thank you. On the team that is represented by Maria Gorgorovich, they had been meeting for a while prior to the reception of the award. So I'm actually going to turn the time over to Maria to talk about the Latinx Ag Network, and then she can throw it back to me and I'll give just a brief intro of how we did the nomination. So Maria, take it away.
Okay, thank you, Brent. On behalf of the Latinx Agriculture Network and Penn State Extension, we would like to thank USDA NIFA and the Association of Public and Land-Grant Universities and Cooperative Extension for this award. With the Latino population growing in both size and strength, Latinos are impacting the future of our society and play an important role in the future of agriculture in America. Latinx individuals represent 75% of the nation's agricultural workforce, and the 2017 USDA Agriculture Census reported a 24% increase in the number of Latinx principal operators. Since 2010, there have been successful ad hoc efforts with Penn State Extension to serve this growing community. In order to connect and enhance these existing efforts, in 2019, a handful of extension educators, faculty, and also graduate students founded the Latinx Agriculture Network. LAN has grown from a 9-member team to a 120-member group in only 2.5 years. LAN members meet bi-monthly, and we also develop a leadership team that meets bi-weekly and an executive committee that meets monthly or as needed. The main goals of these meetings are to organize and direct efforts and resources to better serve the Latinx community and increase networking between members. We are now a community of practice with the mission of ensuring that Latino audiences receive the best extension programming that Penn State has to offer, and that the needs of these communities are met using culturally relevant methods. The structure of LAN allowed us to effectively gather data and impact efforts, which was crucial when we were preparing to submit the proposal for this award. We were requested to answer questions such as what was done to address the issue, why was this worthy of recognition, and also if we had organizational changes and multi-state impacts, as well as international impact. We formed a subcommittee to prepare the submission. To do this, we divided the questions among the committee members, and then we met bi-weekly for 3 weeks to discuss, review, and add additional information to all the answers. Together we put together a strong proposal based on all the impacts and activities that the members of LAN have worked on for several years. And all these efforts have to be intentional. That means that you need the support from the leadership, the support from the extension director. And we're extremely thankful to Dr. Hales, who's our director of extension, for his committed support for our initiative.
Thank you, Maria. And a little note on the nomination. It doesn't take a lot. It's not particularly hard. I worked with the team to actually put together the nomination packet, and then I wrote the letter specifically citing the impacts that the group has had, not just on Penn State and Penn State Extension, but on the agricultural community, and drawing attention to the Latinx community in Pennsylvania. And when we look at the impact that it's had, I'll tell you from the standpoint of preparing the nomination letter, it was actually pretty easy to do, just knowing that impact. I strongly encourage everyone who is looking at this to begin your nominations now. Begin collecting impacts and stories that can be used in the nomination, and for directors to think critically about opportunities to lift up and shine a light on the diversity efforts in your state. I'll tell you, there were some good proposals. I serve on the program committee, which the diversity award goes through, and I certainly stepped away from this process as a nominator. But I'll tell you, we need more proposals, and I strongly encourage everyone to carefully consider what opportunities there are. And if you have questions, please reach out. We're happy to serve as feedback, both Maria and I. So thanks, everybody.
Thank you, Brent, and thank you, Maria. In order, I don't know if all of our award winners can stay on this call for the whole time. So if there are any questions for either Brent or Maria about this process or about the diversity award. All right, if not, thank you, Brent, and Maria, thank you. And thank you to your team for all the great work that you're doing in Penn State. You really are an inspiration. And on behalf of ECOP and all the extension system, congratulations for the great work that you're doing. We really do appreciate it. Thank you.
We do have a question.
Okay,
Yes,
go ahead.
Okay.
My question is not necessarily for the team, but maybe for Brent or someone who reviews the applications. So our university has submitted applications a couple of times and not necessarily been successful. Do the reviewers provide a critique or comments or recommendations on how the application can be improved?
So absolutely. And what is needed is for the nominator to request those. But yes, Yvonne, I can tell you that of the applications that were not selected, the committee did put together a list of recommendations in order to strengthen proposals. If you submitted last year, that one I can definitely speak to. Please reach out to Sandy. I believe she has those. If you didn't get feedback, from the program committee's perspective, we are planning on continuing the providing feedback to successive proposals that come in. So yes.
And on all of them, because we didn't submit a diversity excellence and extension, but we've submitted others. And so does the feedback come on others as well?
Sandy, do you know that answer?
Yes. Anytime a nominator would like that type of feedback, I will be happy to connect you with the chairman of the screen committee, so that those comments could be delivered. Absolutely.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And let me just quickly say that for those that are not selected, take the feedback, resubmit, add to your data, because there are some strong proposals that I've seen in the various areas over the years, and unfortunately, we didn't see many of those come back the second year. And so, Yvonne, great question. Certainly seek feedback and resubmit.
Okay, thank you.
Brent, I can add something. Yvonne, we submitted a proposal back in 2020, and we didn't get the award at that time. And we got the feedback, the comments, we worked on it. We realized that we needed to be better at organizing the data that we had to show the impact. And that's useful not only for this award, but also useful for grant applications and things like that. So it was really useful for all of us. And it was a really good feedback. We used it and we submitted again in 2022.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
Any other questions or comments about that? Sandy, do you see any other hands up?
I think we could move on.
Okay, great. Thank you. And thank you again. Our next award that we'll be discussing is the National Team Excellence Award. And the 2022 Award winners was the Extension FNEP related research program, evaluation, and outreach program. So the Team Award for Excellence in Extension recognizes excellence of a team of cooperative extension professionals in performing the work of extension research, technical assistance, and outreach education. Jeb Bastine will share his insights as a spokesperson for the winning team. FNEP-related research, program evaluation, and outreach. There were 12 extension directors or 1890s extension administrators that nominated this team. So this was definitely a group effort to nominate the team and also a group effort of the team. So with that, Jeb, I will turn it over to you. You'll be talking both as a one of the members of this this team. So again, congratulations. And also if you could discuss a little bit about the nomination process and how 12 extension directors and administrators all agreed. So we always like to hear about that. So I'll turn it over to you.
Absolutely. And thank you so much, Bev, for the introduction. So with regards to the Team Excellence and Extension Award, I believe that 2022 was the first year that this specific award was announced. And so when we saw the announcement, we were actually very, very excited to hear about it because our FNEP group, this is an AES multi-state research group, we've been around for 15 years now. We're at the end of our 3,000 cycle, and we actually have just submitted our 4,000 cycle for our next 5 years. And in that time, not only have we been a very organized multi-state group, but we've been very productive. And we've been productive not only in research, but in really helping FNEP as a program move forward in terms of evaluation, in terms of outreach, in terms of translating our impacts for not only extension directors, but for legislators, for community stakeholders. So we were just very excited for this opportunity and the ability to, again, just show more people all of the wonderful work that we've been doing as a team. And so in terms of applying for the award, similar to Maria's group, we had a smaller subgroup of folks who helped put together the application. And even though the application itself asks for impacts from the last 3 years prior to the application, we also wanted to provide a little bit of background on the entire project because, again, we started 15 years ago. We wanted to provide some of that context for why this was necessary and why we've been doing this for 15 years and have continued to bring all these impacts to the program. So we actually pulled a few of our past members from retirement and asked them to help proofread and make sure that our facts were correct as we continued our application for the award. And it probably took a similar amount of time as Maria's team did. We took maybe about a month or two to fully flesh out the nomination for the award. When it came time to ask for an extension director to nominate us, well, first of all, we were in touch with Sandy quite a bit, asking her many, many questions about the award, particularly because the logistics of the award were so new for a team concept, right? We wanted to know, is it okay if someone from a different university accepted the award and accepted the cash prize if we won? And did it have to be from a certain region? Because we saw that there were region things. So luckily, Sandy was extremely helpful in answering those questions and showing that there was flexibility in considering a team. So when we decided to go for our extension director nominations, what we decided would be the best way to, again, show the support of all of the wonderful people on our team is by having one extension director write the initial formal letter of support and then have kind of letters of support, sign-on letters from other extension directors. So at the time of this award, I was actually, or applying to this award, I was a graduate student at Rutgers. So, and me and my advisor had a pretty good working relationship with Brian Schilling, our extension director at Rutgers. And so we asked him to be the main sign-on for the award. We actually did provide a letter template of, some of the talking points to kind of strengthen, what he could say in the nomination, but allowed him to also provide his own input. And then from there, we had each of our members reach out to each of their extension directors. So we had about 16 or so universities represented by the multi-state group. And as you see, we got 12 sign-ons to the nomination. So we had quite success in getting some extension directors to sign on and support us for this award. And since we, unfortunately, even though there were 12 of them, they were all quite busy today and couldn't make it. I just wanted to share, if you're an extension director and thinking of finding, a team or a person to nominate for this award, I think some good ways to really find out who these people are at your university are going down to your department heads and A&R and FNS 4-H, and really seeing who are the extension specialists, who are the field staff, who are really working in these collaborative groups. Because if they're anything like our group, we try to promote ourselves all the time, and we also try to explain that what we're doing, even if it doesn't look the same as an extension specialist who does a lot of work on the ground at the county level or the state level, we are still providing a lot of impact to the extension system. I also know that, going through peers reports, we spend a lot of time in the multi-state and integrated category because that's where a lot of our impacts are. And so, you can even go back to data and see, who are the people at your university who are really spending a lot of their extension time in these team efforts and really showing change at a level beyond, maybe the county level. I think that's good for now, and I'm more than happy to answer any questions people might have on the team award as well.
Great, thanks, Jeb. Any questions for Jeb? So Jeb, again, as we think about this team and a multi-state team, how did all of you celebrate the winning of this award?
That's a good question. So we I've had an email thread so far with the celebration. We have not met in person since the APLU meeting. Our next in-person meeting is scheduled for October. So we're hoping to bring the award to that meeting and kind of maybe take a group photo around it. But it's been just a lot of excitement. We meet pretty regularly on Zoom calls. We have large group meetings as well as subgroup meetings. And so there's just been a lot of excitement around all over for the award. So hopefully soon we'll get that group photo around it. We were able to bring 3 people to APLU last fall. And so it was nice because, I haven't seen these people since, the start of COVID either. So in person. So it was really great to celebrate with them as well.
Great, thank you. And again, congratulations to your team. Any questions for Jeb? All right, thank you. I think we'll go ahead and move on to the next award. And this award was for the Individual Excellence Award. And the Individual Excellence Award recognizes cooperative extension professionals who excel in extension programming, make a positive impact on constituents served, and provide visionary leadership for this system. It is designed to focus national attention on the role of extension, one that is fundamental to the lifelong education and development of residents and communities around the nation. There are 6 total awards granted in this category, 5 regional awards, and 1 national award. So today we have the pleasure to have the 2022 winner of the Individual Award in Extension to Allison Davis, and she is here today, and also her nominator, Laura Stephenson from the University of Kentucky. So Laura, I think I'll turn it over to you, and you can introduce Allison, and maybe Allison too, as with the award, you'll tell a little bit about yourself and your program. So Laura, I'll turn it over to you. Thanks.
Thank you. So just a few brief comments. As we looked for our nominee for this individual award, we were really looking for someone in our system who is well respected in their fields, but also that they had a unique story to tell with their work and their career. And as you listen to Allison talk about this award and her work, you're going to see that epitomizes Allison's role as our Community and Economic Development Initiative in Kentucky director. She develops innovative programs. She uses needs assessments as a springboard for community action. She is an excellent person who supports and encourages broad-based community, regional, state, and national partnerships. And she also is very adept at cross-disciplinary collaborations. So for those reasons, she was our Kentucky nominee. And we are thrilled that she was the regional winner as well as the national winner, because it's well-deserved. So Allison Davis, our award winner.
Thanks, Laura. I appreciate it. Well, first, this was a really unexpected and really wonderful honor. And I will say, I know very little about the nomination process, which is what made it so amazing. It's probably the first award that I won that I didn't write as a ghostwriter. And so sometimes when you do that and you understand the time constraints of folks who are going through this process and you write it yourself, it feels a little cheap when you win it. But this one I never actually saw. I think something was sent to me at one point to look at, but it was really close to the deadline and I didn't want to see it. And so it really was truly an honor, because these were folks who were just talking about the work that we've done and without any input from me. So hopefully it was true. That's my goal. So I will tell you a little bit about myself. I'm an ag economist or economist by training, and I'm in the Department of Ag Econ at the University of Kentucky. But I'm an economic development and community development extension specialist. And I started CETIC back in 2010, when our state was kind of struggling with how we handle community and economic development extension in the South. My buddy Brent knows that as soon as you go kind of a little bit north, we typically will have local educators or agents who have that as their primary focus. And so it becomes a little bit more straightforward about how a state specialist does their work. And so we decided to just kind of be a little bit different. And we pulled away from being a straight extension program and became kind of an integrated research and engagement center housed within the College of Agriculture. And we grew from having one paid staff to now having 14 full-time folks, about 5 dedicated to research and 9 dedicated to engagement and extension. And Laura mentioned a little bit about kind of being collaborative and cross-disciplinary. I'm the only economist in the group. And then I have folks that represent education, public health, the arts, landscape architecture, planning as part, and economic development as part of that. And so it has created a really rich group of individuals, very talented, who are able to work across the state in our communities where we are needed the most. And so this was really great. And when I accept these types of awards, I can only do it because I have amazing staff and colleagues who really just sort of take some of the vision and are the doers. I like to do the 30,000 foot, let's get the money, let's have the big idea. And then I sometimes are like, okay, let's go on to the next big thing. And so they are great implementers and they are truly impactful. And so, an individual excellence winner really can't be by definition, just because how can you be excellent at what you do if you have not surrounded yourself by others? And I know the folks who helped write letters, some were my staff, and I know Laura wrote a letter. My colleague Dan, I think, was the one who helped spearhead this. And I hope that they talked a lot about that, is that we were very fortunate to be able to hire amazing, talented folks who I let mostly run loose and just hear about the great stories, sometimes in the newspaper, sometimes in a press release that I haven't had a chance to see yet. But they just truly get the needs of Kentucky communities. And so that was great. And I think, again, back to, thinking about these different program areas, this made this particularly special because CED as a program area, particularly in our region, is small. And I think these types of awards really bolster the work that we do and get more folks, both at the state level and the county level, energized, because we often hear, we don't get a lot of recognition for CED work. And I think this really helped say this is important. It is necessary in a lot of our places. And we were thrilled, and I will continue to say it really is more than just an individual. But as far as the nomination process, I just don't know. I know people were a little bit stressed about it, which was great. So it was one thing I didn't have to put on my to-do list, and it was just absolutely amazing. Bev, I think you might be on mute.
I am on mute. Okay. Thank you, Allison. And again, congratulations. Laura, anything you might want to add?
She's correct that her team is the one that pulled together the information, but it was written with care and respect. And we had many back channel conversations as they work through telling the story of SEDC, but also of Allison's leadership and vision. So, Allison, I value what you were saying about the team, but you're the wind beneath their sails. Thank you, Bev.
Bev, I have a question.
Yes.
Congratulations, Allison. I was so excited to see that. And Laura has not been allowing me to even talk to you because I'm so envious of you being in Kentucky and would love to have a position like that in Georgia. I have a question about the last thing on the slide, Bev and Sandy. It says that if a person has won a regional award, they're eligible in 3 years for the national award. Is that the case? Like if someone won the regional award, you could renominate the same person in 3 years?
Yes, indeed. That is correct. Don't know that it's ever happened, but yes, okay. It is correct.
I did not know that was a rule. Okay, thank you.
Any other questions about this award or any of the other awards or the process? All right, so again, congratulations, Allison and our other teams. And as Allison said, that it does take a team to really develop good extension programs, but it also takes a leader to make sure that things are moving forward. So I think today that we have seen examples of both, great leaders and great teams coming together. So I hope that listening to the stories of how you submit an award, and also for the awardees and how important it is, that it inspires all of you to be thinking about who you should nominate for this year's award. So with that, there is a new website, awards.extension.org. So you could take a look at that. If you are going to, when you are going to submit your nominations for this year. Start recruiting and nominations. Some of the nominations are due by the 15th, and many require letters of recommendation, so it can take a little while. The final deadline is May 1st for the online nominations, and then the notices will be given for the award winners by the week in July. So Sandy, would you like to talk a little bit more about this? Anything that I missed?
Well, only that, to help motivate people and to, we don't have a deadline for the 15th, but I'm really emphasizing that people should start early because there is some background communications that need to take place. And although I have never been a screener for these awards, I get the sense in general that you need to take the time, the effort, the organization, the communications. And so it's always best to start early. I was thinking about how intentional and how to achieve excellence in anything that you do. It's more of a crawl than a sprint. So it's no different than preparing one of these nominations. So I really encourage people to start within the next few weeks, going to this website, deciding which of the 3 awards or all of them that you want to organize nominations around, and get started early.
Great. Any questions? Okay, Sandy. So again, our national awards are important. They're important for just the national and recognition of extension, the visibility of extension at APLU, which is very important. But again, it's very important for us to recognize the great work that our extension professionals are doing. And many of you are doing that on the state level, some on the regional level. So let's gear this up and also recognize our colleagues at the national level. So if you have any questions about this, just make sure that you get a hold of Sandy. Sandy can direct you to the right place. So any other questions about the awards process to our award winners here or our nominators? Okay, let's just talk about the calendar. A couple things to keep in mind that March 3rd is our next Learning for Leaders, and we will be talking about workforce development from the Workforce Development Action Team. So again, another big issue that all of us are thinking about in our states. For those of you that are attending Carrot Oz, again, make sure those are on your calendar. Registration is open for that meeting. And also PILD, many of you do participate in PILD. You can see that that is in April. And NEDA, need to make sure that all of you have that on your calendar. It is October 9th through the 12th. And you will soon get additional information on the location and registration for NEDA. So with that, Sandy, I think we have completed a little early today, which is fine. Any questions you might have, you can give them to me or also to Sandy. And also to help Sandy out and ECOP as we plan additional First Fridays and Learning for Leaders. If you would take the survey, that would be great. So with that, any other questions? Comments? All right, Sandy put the link for the survey in the chat. So please take a look at that. And with that, again, I want to thank all of you for being here today, especially our 2022 winners of our awards. Congratulations. Thank you for taking the time to be here. And I hope all of you have a great weekend. And for those of you that in the northern climates, we are all hoping for above 0 temperatures this weekend. So that's our goal. All right. Thank you, everyone. I appreciate it.
Thank you.